What's up, people? We're back, episode 16. So, uh, yes, yesterday, since we spoke about business in the last, in the last two episodes, I thought, especially because I had my first amateur fight yesterday, which I won. So I thought, why not speak about martial arts again? Because yeah, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about about myself and about about martial arts and about like about getting more skilled in the way you fight. You know, from yesterday's event. So and I know that Alan has actually a lot of experience in kickboxing as well. So that's why I wanted to speak on this episode again about martial arts, but especially about stepping in the ring. Because
Yes.
yeah, can you tell us a little bit about your background, Alan, your fighting background?
Well, about my background, we were talking about this. I have two professional fights. And amateurs, honestly, I don't know how many fights I have. The situation is that first I started when I was like way older. And the second one is that they are like all kind of events and stuff um, so at some point, like you just like you go like counting the fights, and at some point like I just lose the count, but I think that is less than 30. And some people will think like, yeah, that's way too much and stuff. No, like here in Mexico, at least, that's not that much. I think somebody who is like preparing and really going serious to be professional or something, like they can go up to 50 amateur fights. Um, I mean, for example, uh, we have like these kind of tournaments, and in this tournament, in one day, you fight against like several people. So, and in one day, you can have like three, four, even five, even four matches, and that's the situation. That at some point, like you just go like, okay, like I have no idea how many fights I had, because in here it goes like that. Here, let's say that the fighting market is really competitive and so on. And it's not that, I have to say that also it's not that difficult, because most of the people who is training and going to this event, like many of them, they are not training like properly and stuff. So I dare to say that most of the people go in there just because of the fitness plan, like that's the situation. But if you really are like training properly, and you are coming from a good academy, and at some point like you have like some charisma, poof, like you will have like guarantee they will offer to you like one proper fight every 15 days, like or 1 month. So that's the situation here in Mexico. Of course, in Europe is different, like there is less, like the fighting pool is like way smaller, and the organization is quite different. In here, well, like we organize like this kind of events wherever, like there's a public space, and you go in there and you speak with the people um, at the of the town center. I don't know how to call it properly.
Yeah, the municipality,
Well,
or
yeah, they are the municipality, and they say, yeah, yeah, okay, like do it, like, yeah, yeah, cool, cool, like. And then in that moment, you start to call like the academies, like, yeah, like I have this event in this place. Oh yeah, yeah, cool, like we're going. And one academy goes, and they have like five, six, 5 or 6 people that they're going to fight. What is happening like right now? Uh, I mean, like this is nuts. There are some fighting leagues that they plan about 40, 50 fights per event. that's when you see the, like from standpoint outside, you say, man, like that's crazy. How can that be possible? But actually, it's possible. The situation here in our countries, at least in Latin America, is that when you make a promotion, and whatever the sport is, MMA, the kickboxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and so on, the people, they just go and they just support their relatives or their friends, and that's it. They just go and see like the guy that they support like fighting, and after that, like they're leaving. So that's the situation. Like all the time when we're having these events, at least in the academy, because we have the cage and we have, say, the infrastructure. Well, you see people coming and going all the time, and you see how they're like calling, like, okay, like next 5 fighters, yeah, like okay, like first this you against you, yeah, okay, next one, yeah, after that, like it's you against you, like everything is okay, like wait, blah, blah, yeah, everything is cool, and then like when you realize it, like it's a whole day of fighting.
Yeah, actually, yesterday the event that I went to was also around 40 fights, something like that. But it was different opponents. Like I had one fight, and then there's I do not have multiple fights in one day. And especially, I don't think that's a good idea because I saw people getting knocked out yesterday. So what are you going to do? Like you get knocked out, and then like an hour later you're going to have a next fight. Man, that's stupid. That's stupid as fuck.
Well,
But I don't know how it goes in Mexico.
yeah, if you say that, of course, like when we have like this kind of events in here, is what you call like direct disqualification. Like the like you have the matches, and then if you lose your match, like you're out. That's it. Then at some point, like you fight against the winner of another match, and then like it goes like disqualifications until like the best two of all the pool like go into the finals. That's the situation. And I don't know, at least in Europe or in the Netherlands, but in here it proves to be effective. Nowadays I will say that they we can with more protection and so on, because if we are speaking about the 80s or early 90s in here, like I saw some of these fights even when I was not training myself, and man, like it was brutal. It was brutal, like now like they're checking that, yeah, like you have like your balls protection, like proper gloves and stuff, but by that time it's like, oh yeah, well, like you have like your gloves, and your gloves are like 8 ounces, and the opponent's glove are like 12 or something ounces. Oh yeah, well, that doesn't matter. We have no gloves anyway, so just go and do it. That's
Yeah.
that is the situation.
Why is it that in Mexico, like fighting is such a big thing? Like, why is everybody in? I remember now I was in Mexico City. I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, there's a martial arts school, and it could be anything, like boxing, kickboxing, MMA, even other sports that are not even direct contacts, like kung fu and such. I saw them on almost every corner of the street. Why is that specifically in Mexico that everybody's so into fighting?
I have to say that the reason is more social. The Mexico and basically all Latin America, this is a fucking jungle. That's the situation. This is a fucking jungle. And if you do not learn to stand up for yourself, like you're going to get fucked, like really badly. That's the situation. Like is enough that one time somebody comes to you and says something, and if you do not stand up for yourself, like after that guy, like you have a row, you have a line of 15, 20 people like waiting to bully you. That's the first reason. The second reason is that that's why we have like so many good boxers and fighters. for us that come like from the bottom of the society, fighting actually is a way to go higher in the social ladder. Like if we speak about social mobility in Mexico, that's a lie. That social mobility is not existing. You will reach one point in where you cannot go like higher, because the people in the higher levels, like they protect themselves and that people in that level. So yeah, the mobility is a lie. But if you are a good fighter, and if you make it like big, well, you are going to earn millions. Everybody's going to respect you, and you will do whatever the fuck you want. And I think that's the other reason why we have like such a good fighters.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really fascinating. That's but actually in other countries in Latin America, it's not as big as specifically in Mexico. Or am I making a wrong assumption here?
No, the situation is that most of the countries in Latin America, we are basically the same. You just change the name and the food and maybe the way how we talk. But for most of the countries in Latin America, this is the reality. If, for example, like right now, if you go and you watch, UFC, you will find out that in comparison to 3-4 years ago, like right now, they have many, many more people from Latin America. But the reason is because my professor, the Raul Arbizu, he started to go up because he has like really good fighters. Like the level in Entram gym is insane. The level is insane.
Yeah, I even, like at the beginning of this year, I had the seminar with him.
Yes.
It was off the charts. And
yes,
I train with people here. They are the best in the country without a shadow of a doubt. But yeah, like Raul Arvizu is out of this world. Like he is completely on his own level.
Yes, the situation is that there's many martial artists, and they are coming to Entram. And actually, the professor, I told you, like, he's out of the fucking charts. If you are a good fighter and if you're disciplined and you trust and you follow what he's telling you, like, it's really hard that he rejects a good fighter. That's the situation. So when you start to check the UFC pool, like, you will see more people from Latin America, you will see Argentinians, you will see some Peruvians. So there's some, I think there's some guy from Venezuela, I cannot remember like correctly. The guy, he's 18 years old. He already made his debut in the UFC, and he won that night. So like the feature that this guy has like ahead is like brilliant. So that's the situation. Like all the people in Latin America, they just needed a platform to jump into the big leagues, and that's what Raul Arbizu is achieving by himself.
Yeah. Actually, now that you mention him, yesterday when I had the fight, what made the difference for me is also, and what made the difference ever since I started fighting, was that I really put so much freaking effort in choosing the best coach possible. Like wherever, even if I had to drive like half an hour or like an hour to get to the gym where I can get the best training, I would still do it because it's it's that important. So when other people they tell me like, oh well, I have other priorities because I'm working on this and this and that, or like I'm doing something else or whatever. Like fighting is a priority. It's super important.
Totally.
It's
totally agree.
Yeah, it's super important as a man to learn how to fight, especially like you mentioned, like to stand up for yourself. But yeah, yesterday, like for my gym, we had what I read, like we had 12. There were 12 people from my gym. They were fighting, and 11 of them they won. And that makes a good coach and a good gym. They make all the difference. And I tell this to the people. I've been telling this to people for so freaking long. Like, choose the best coach possible, even if you have to pay more, even if you have to drive longer. You choose the best that is available, because that is going to give you a
It's going to pay
competitive.
off.
It's going to pay off, and it's going to give you a competitive advantage over your whatever opponent you're going to get. So, yeah, that's my recommendation always to everybody. Put emphasis up. That's where that's your baseline. Start there, and then train as hard as you can. And yeah, for example, I think not everybody might know Arvizu in the crowd in the like to our audience, but Arvizu, how many fighters does he have in UFC right now?
Phew. Last time that I count them, it was 14 of them. Now I think it should be like 20.
But at that point,
we had
if you have 20, you can basically say like, yeah, he makes UFC fighters on command. It's like, yeah,
yes.
this person, yeah, make it, yeah, boom, done.
Yeah, for example, we have this Yasmin Jauregui, who she recently had her second fight on UFC. She came to fight with us in Fearless. Well, I remember by that time I was not in Mexico. I was in Lithuania, and I was like coordinating everything by mobile. And it's really difficult that the professor show up himself is for something that is not UFC, because he's obsessed with that. But he sent like another one of his pupils, and she did like such a great job. And we knew that at some point, like she will do it to UFC. Well, like 5 years later, like we can see like what she's doing, and she's doing like in a spectacular way.
Yeah, but we could talk about this topic like for really long, but let's
hours.
Go. Yeah, exactly, like 4 hours, because we're so into fighting, because we understand how important it is, But yeah, let's go back, like, because let's go back to stepping into the ring. Is there something? There's a lot of people, they say that they have nerves before the fight, that they're scared before the fight. Like, what is it for you that is that you dealt with before the fight? Like, what is particularly that you looked up to, or that you found difficult?
Well, I have to say that in my case, that feeling of fear, like it's natural. Even if you go to YouTube and you check like some videos about Mike Tyson, that is like one of the most badass motherfuckers, like from the sport world, combat sport world. In this video, sometimes he's saying like, yeah, like when I step into the ring, like I feel fear, but when the ring bells, then in that moment, like I focus into what I have to do, and then in that moment, like because of my focus, like the fear goes away. So in my case, I have to say that it was like something similar. I get into the ring, I get in with the opponents, and at some point, like everybody else, like I'm afraid that I'm going to get hurt. But when I go and I see like the guy from the
Yeah, so let's go. Yeah, I understand that we can talk about this topic for like about professional fighting, and about the particular people that we work with, like 4 hours. Like, the topic is basically endless, So, but let's go back to like stepping into the ring, and like where what is in it for for people that have the ambition to get into a ring, because is there something? I hear from people that sometimes people, they are scared, people they have they have nerves that they have to deal with. Like, what was it for you that you found difficult before you stepped into the ring? Like, what kind of things that you struggled with?
Yeah, well, I have to say that the fear is real, and I think that the fear is normal for everybody. Even if you go to YouTube and you check like some videos about Mike Tyson, who is one of the most badass motherfuckers in the combat sports, you will listen to him like saying, "Yeah, like I go into the ring and I'm afraid, like I'm scared, like." But in the moment when the ring bells, like I go inside to the ring and I have to focus into what I'm going to do. Then in that moment, like because of my focus, like all the fear goes away. And in my case, I have to say that that is like the same situation. So every time when you go to fight, you have the scare that well, like maybe I will get knocked out. Like maybe I will receive like some injury. Maybe I will not do it like that good, and I will be ridiculized. Like I will fail like really badly, and the people is going to laugh. Like all the time is like all these kind of fears that you feel. But at the end of the day, if you are training properly and you're like doing what you have to do, following the instructions of your coach, then at the end of the day, you're going to be okay. It's not going to be such a huge problem because you are fighting and you will listen like all the people like screaming and so on. But you need to learn to listen the indications that your coach is giving to you, and you need to execute them in the moment that he's like telling you. Because fighting is not just about punches and stuff. Fighting is also about timing. Uh-huh. The right punch at the right time can make a total different story or how your match goes. And that's the situation. The people who do not know or do not trade or just starting, they think that it's just punching to see like in what moment the other guy is just falling down. It's not like that. There's a strategy. There's a strategy in every training. There's a strategy when you're going against an opponent. When like in the case like similar to yours, when you just go against like one person, that's not that so much problem because if you know like that person, you can go and you can analyze like the fighting style of that guy and say like, yeah, well, like I see this and this and this and this fail, and your coach is going to say, yeah, I see this and this fail also, so we're going to work this. But for example, in the Mexican case, when you fight in one day about 4 or 5 matches, then in that moment, it's way more difficult because you have no idea who is going to end winning, like from the other side. That's the situation.
Yeah, indeed. And also, yeah, like what you mentioned, the point was is crucial that you listen to the indications that your coach gives you, like in the corner of your in the corner of your ring. Because I remember yesterday before the fight, what also made a difference for me and made me better able to put up a good performance was that my coach told me like, yeah, before the fight, just don't just focus on your opponent, like focus on what's happening around you, like focus on also like what we are telling you from the corner of the ring, like where your what we recommend, what we tell you to do, the kicks that we
All
the
the
kicks that we
indications.
yeah, exactly, like the indications. Especially what made the difference for me is like focusing on low kicks, and that's how I scored a lot of points. So yeah, like those are like the code, like your coach can make a huge difference for you, and yeah, another point about focus is also crucial. Don't let the nerves, don't let the nerves like put you off course and lose all of your focus. Like put your focus on what you're doing. Don't put your focus on like what might happen. Oh, I might get injured. Yeah, but that's why you're going in there, right? You're like, the shit is
Yes.
fucking in all honesty, like the shit is fucking scary. You just step into the ring like against somebody that also want to win, because if you're losing, you feel bad for I don't know how many days, man. So yeah, that's the reality. Yeah, that's the reality. So
Yeah, when you mention this, I have to say, like, the first thing is that you listen all the time, like, people saying, "Oh yeah, I'm mentally strong," and so on. Like, that's no, that's a lie. You will know that you are mentally strong when you are under, like, this level of stress, when you are able to think, when you have, like, all this pressure, like coming to you. And I have to say that I saw it not only in the fighting but also in the professional way, like the working. There is many people that they are crushed by the pressure. So again, to all the people of the audience, like, a mental strength is coming when you are under all this pressure, that you are able to listen, to think, to analyze the situation, and then execute. That's the mental strength. Everything else that you think that is mental strength, well, I have news for you. Like, it is not. It's bullshit. Um, that's the first comment that I have. And the second one, the fuck. What was the? I
about the
forget it.
focus, about the focus, and about the yeah, and about listening to indications from your coach.
Yeah, about the listening indications. It's the same. Like, you need to trust. You need to trust your coach, like, with your life. Uh-huh. I saw, like, some posts recently from a musician. This musician, he's like trying to pretend, oh yeah, I'm so badass and stuff. Like, even he has the name of a cartel into his group, into his band. But like, that musician is saying, like, yeah, like, there's no coaches that are like that brave, like, because they are not the ones who are, like, doing the fighting. It is you. So the coach is never going to say no to a fight. Like, that's the most stupid shit that I have ever listened. The first thing that the coach is going to do is, like, okay, I'm going to see who is your rival, and I'm going to assess the level of your rival, the strength, the weight, everything, and the implications. And then in that moment, I'm going to tell you, well, like, we're going to take this fight, and then, like, you will go and you will do your work. And if it's not, well, the coach is going to decline the fight. Sometimes the coach is not even going to tell you, like, yeah, like, somebody was asking for you to have, like, a fight against, like, this person, and I decline it. And, well, there's something that many people do not understand. They think that you just go into the cage with whomever they are going to put at them against them. And it's not like that. You need to understand that the combat sport, there is rules behind it, and these rules are made to protect you. And after these rules are made to protect you, and you have the experience, and you manage to control your fear, or every emotion, or any emotion that you feel, then in that moment when you are into the street and you suffer an aggression, then in that moment you will know how to react properly. Like, you are not going to just think. Like, actually, your body is going to start to move by itself, because you've been training it. There's, like, that says from Bruce Lee, that says, I do not fear the man who knows a thousand kicks, but I fear the man who knows one kick and he practices it, like, 1,000 times. That's the same situation.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, people, they underestimate. It looks, of course, like the moment, like before the fight, and when you're just watching it on TV. Of course, it looks very simple, but when you're actually putting your feet to the fire, when you're saying, like, okay, I'm going to step into the ring, that is going to change your perception. Because you have to deal with the reality, like a couple minutes before the fight, that the other person in that in the ring wants to fuck you up. And you're in that moment, that's that's going to change your change your perception. Yeah, and I like your point as well about the that like put your you should trust your coach with your life, because you do. When your coach is also putting his name on the line by giving you the opportunity to fight in the first place. So for him it's also important that you win. But there's another point that I wanted to make about taking your first fight, because I think many people in the audience, they at some point, if they consider taking their first fight, that what you need to understand is that taking your first fight, there is not too much that you can do about getting to know your opponent, or like preparing in a particular way for your opponent, because it's literally like a coin flip. Because your opponent can be some savage that already trains for 10 years and has just never stood into the ring, and then decided like, oh well, now is the time, or out of the blue. Or it can be somebody that just started a month ago. Yeah, like a month ago, and has really no business in stepping into the ring. You have no idea, so it's a coin flip. But whatever you do, like you have to focus on the basics. And the basics meaning, like, for example, if you're in kickboxing, it's just it's your jab, it's your cross, it's your hook, and it's your low kicks. That's where you should focus on. I'm going to be honest, like even I try to overcomplicate it in my fight. I should have focused way more on, especially on the low kicks, but that's not something that I practice a lot. That's not something that I focus a lot on when I'm in my training. But right now I'm going to do it, because that's a thing that I learned from yesterday, like way more. I'm still like, I just took one fight, but for me it's like, yeah, well, so what? Like, okay, I won, but on to the next one. Like, let's get back to work. Yeah, we're going back to the gym, and we're going to prepare for the next one. We're going to learn. Even though I won, there's still a lot that I can take away and say like, okay, this is going on this and this point. I have so much room to improve.
Yeah, totally. Well, it's cool that you won like your first one, but
how was that for you?
The first one?
Yeah,
I won it also. The situation is that like the first one is going to be important, but even if you lose the first one, like you need to be like strong enough mentally to do not disappoint, and you need to analyze with your coach what was the reason why you lost that fight, and then you need to go back and you need to work like harder, because it means that you lose not to the other guy. It means that your lack of training or something was the reason why you lose that match. And if you win, well, it's good, but it's the same. Like, you need to analyze why you win, and you need to keep going on track with that. About like when you say that the people like should consider their first fight, like, I will totally disagree with you. Like, people should not consider it; they should do it. I will suggest at least if you are like training, you have the chance to do like 5 matches, like go and do it. And after that, if you do not want to keep like fighting and stuff, like okay, is respectable. Maybe we will find people at the audience that they do not want to go like that further into martial arts, but it's important that they're training, and it's important that they're training and they learn themselves how to defend. So okay, if you don't want to go into the fights, like, it's respectable, but you need to keep training. That's a must be. Like, you need to put into your head, I just started this day and I'm going to end when? Well, the day that I cannot walk anymore. The day when I die. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no more.
Yeah, because you need self-protection. You need self-protection up until you die, whatever that's going to be, and also you need to move your body. You need to move your body, and you need to train your body to do the act, to do proper movement, so if if it's going to be something, if you're going to do any form of exercise, then martial arts is going to be the best one, without a doubt, because that's going to teach you how to defend yourself, and you're going to need the self-defense also for the rest of your life, so that is yeah, I totally agree with you. But I understand that I don't recommend everybody to just jump into a fight. Like, first, what you need to do is like go to the best coach you can get, because that's, to be honest, that's many people. They're not even doing that like the foundation is just weak.
Yeah.
And also another mistake that I see people making is that when they go to train, they don't do enough sparring, or they don't do sparring at all. It's like, oh yeah, what's the point then? Don't even bother think about going into the ring if you're not focusing and getting in the right amount of sparring.
Yeah, it's the same situation. Like you are starting the sparring, like, I don't know, today, and when you're going to finish to do sparring, well, till the day you cannot walk, or till the day you die. That's it.
Yeah. I sometimes even spar against people that are they're in their 50s or even in their 60s. But those people, they have been training for so long. They have so much experience. They can kick your ass. Believe me. If you, I know some people, they train for 20, more than 20 years with one of my coaches, a former kickboxing world, like a world champion. You can bet that this guy, because he trained with him for 20 years, that he knows a thing or two about kickboxing. So yeah, like even the older people, you can learn so much from them.
And I have to go.
Yeah. Like we need to wrap up. So.
Déjalas.
Yeah. So like it was actually a quite long one, but like we have to wrap it up, and I suggest we'll speak about this in another episode, definitely. But this is a very interesting topic, and it's like, again, it's so important for people that they start to learn how to defend themselves. It really changes your perception, like it changes your reality completely. So with on that note, we're going to wrap it up, and we're on to the next episode. So I want to thank everybody for watching, and peace out.
Motherfuckers.